The partnership between conscious companies and the Mail and Guardian stands as a testament to a shared vision for greater good and the impact of partnership. Our next speaker is the chairman of the Mail and Guardian, who continues to drive the agenda of integrity and authentic reportage in the media. Please welcome Hoosain Karjieker.
Great to see you. Good to see all of you again here today. And I also wish to extend my gratitude to Brenda Carley and the team for organizing the summit and for agreeing that the Mail and Guardian can be its partner again for 2024. So they say that in a worldwide survey that was conducted a few years ago amongst politicians by the United Nations, the only question asked was, would you please give your honest opinion about solutions to the food shortage in the rest of the world? The survey was a huge failure. Sadly, in Africa, they didn't know what food meant. In Eastern Europe, they didn't know what honest meant. In Western Europe, they didn't know what shortage meant. In China, they didn't know what opinion meant. In the Middle East, they didn't know what solution meant. In South America, they didn't know what please meant. And obviously in the USA, they didn't know what the rest of the world meant. So we can comfortably conclude from that the concept of conscious and ethical leadership by politicians, not only in South Africa, but across the world, is a bit of a misnomer. So no doubt, as we all sit here on the eve of electing our 7th administration for democratic South Africa, filled with the excitement and exuberance, as we all naturally have, at the prospect of it being lucky number 7, right? We live here with lots of hope. But as I tried to prepare yesterday for this event, I really struggled not to become despondent about the prospect of that opportunity again to vote. And yet, it was a democratic right that was withheld from me for many, many years of my life. Yes, it's campaign time in South Africa. We have 20 short days left until the national election, and it's clear that political parties are pulling out all the stops to get their messages across. And punches, of course. Let's not forget the punches. There's a crucial election here for South Africa. Our country faces a number of challenges which have seemingly been neglected by our country's leadership over several years. Opposition parties, like they do, have launched electoral campaigns. Electoral taglines are used as a lightning quick and catchy summary of their electoral strategies. Consider the following from these opposition parties, or from these parties. The Democratic Alliance has released a video with a depiction of the South African flag burning with the tagline, "The election is about survival." Well, who burns the South African flag? It's sacrosanct. And no matter how they try and spin it now, unfortunately, I think they're off to a bad start. Build One South Africa states that that they are with the people, for the people. That doesn't really inspire me. The Economic Freedom Fighters want our land, our jobs now, stop load shedding. Oh yes, by the way, our Louis Vuitton shoes. The African National Congress says, let's do more together. Well, I ask, do more what? And don't offer any responses to that, right? The Patriotic Alliance says that they are the last hope, and Action SA says, let's fix South Africa. So none of them so far has inspired us or demonstrated a revitalization of sorts that has incorporated ethical leadership into their campaign strategies. Nothing so far. And an election is a macrocosm of a true character of ethical and conscious leadership. If we are looking to these leaders for truth and what the country needs right now, we need to factor conscious and ethical leadership into our decisions. When looking at our country as a community of people searching for leadership, we must remember the basic principles of ethical business leaders. In a business narrative, ethical leaders view their companies as communities and consider everyone involved when evaluating situations and making decisions. You heard this from Professor Mervyn King just a minute ago. And if we consider the country as a brand or a company, then the country is the community and its populace should be involved when evaluating situations and making decisions. After all, involving your nation building is a key success to securing a position as a successful leader. A leader looking to build a community would encourage working together to create change. Ethical leadership has a significant impact on citizen engagement. When leaders in power behave ethically, this encourages a culture of positive engagement, trust, and justice, leading to an increase in community commitment. And in South Africa, we have struggled with many different styles of leadership over the years, and as such, many people have lost faith in the current leadership due to the perspective that the leaders lack conscience and ethics. So if our leaders embrace ethical, conscious leadership by prioritizing honesty, integrity, and social responsibility, perhaps they can regain the trust and confidence of their country, their brand, and their community. South Africa needs to recreate a strong reputation in the global community and at home. Will these elections bring about the ethical and conscious shift needed? Well, we'll hear more about that during the course of the day. But before I conclude, I just wish to touch on two specific matters. One, I have the privilege of serving on the board of the Media Development and Diversity Agency, which is a state agency, and I'm fortunate to engage a lot with the auditors of the entity who happens to be from the Office of the Auditor General of South Africa. Now, I've not met Ms. Sakalani yet, and I'm not sure whether she's here, but if I just want to, there's something that gives us hope, is the engagement and my interaction I have with these individuals. Those are reflective of a young group of individuals who understand what South Africa needs, what ethical leadership is all about, and will hold people to account. They've been really impressive, and I really think we should give her a round of applause for leading this team. The second issue I want to touch on is the Mail and Guardian and just the publishing sector in general. It is struggling. It really is on its knees. And I don't think corporate South Africa has acknowledged sufficiently the role that publishing houses have played over the last 20 years in bringing about the change that we've experienced and we've seen happening in the country. We really brought it to light. We continue to do so, and we're a key component of a democracy. And I ask you, as you leave here later today and go back to your places of work, to engage with your leadership back at the office and to ensure and try and secure more funding and more support for publishers, not just the Mail and Guardian. There's space for all of us, whether it's the Sunday Times, Business Day, everybody. You've got to try and help a struggling sector get back onto its legs again. A lot of it has occurred because of the transition from print to digital, and we accept the fact that there are changes in the consumption habits of members of the public. There are so many different platforms where you get your news now. But, we've got to make sure that we do give media the support that they deserve. We're in a big fight with Google at the moment, and hopefully that'll play out in our favor. And if it does, and we do get back sort of the funding as they have compensated publishers across the world in Australia, in Canada, in Europe, then that'll change the sector significantly. But it's probably about a year and a half down the line. We're just at Competitions Commission right now making representations. But I do ask you as we conclude that you do give this some thought, and also please do enjoy the rest of the day that we have here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Hoosain.